energy trumps all. And you can say all the affirmations in the land, you can write all the affirmations in the land, but if your energy is not aligned with that affirmation or that manifestation, it's not going to come into your reality, meaning the energy is blocking that. Hey gorgeous souls, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, then my name is Emma Mumford and I'm an award-winning life coach and mentor, law of attraction YouTuber, 2 times best-selling author of my book Spiritual Queen and Positively Wealthy. I'm the UK's leading law of attraction expert, and here on this channel we talk about all things law of attraction, manifestation, spirituality and self-help. So today's video is a special video as it is coming up to 6 years since I had my first spiritual awakening. And I always feel like April as a whole, but this energy as well since that time in my life always feels really potent because it was such a massive shift, a massive change in my life, and a healing process in itself, absolutely, that it always feels nice to just honor that each year and look back and reflect and see how far I've come and, you know, just honor that and express that gratitude and appreciation as well. So today I wanted to share with you 6 things that I have learned in 6 years since spiritually awakening back in 2016. I first of all can't believe that it's been 6 years. It feels like I've blinked and time has disappeared, right? But I feel like we're all feeling that as a whole because I feel like ever since 2020, time has just, gone so quick. And then we're like, what? COVID was 2 years ago? These things happened 2 years ago? It seems wild, right? And I think definitely like the first thing I would tell myself, my 2016 self would be like, oh, travel, enjoy life, travel, do all the things that you want to do, because I feel like I haven't traveled in the last 2 years. That is changing soon, but for me, traveling is a big part of my life. It's a big part of what I love. And yeah, like I feel like travel is so important to me. So I feel like 16-year-old self got that itch, got that sort of like, right, I want to travel energy. And I really feel like I would say to her, do it. Travel, go find yourself, have fun, like connect with your friends again. And just do all the things that you want to do because, well, I obviously wouldn't say because in 4 years' time, you're not going to be able to do anything. You're going to be stuck in your house. But I think I would say, you know, like enjoy those moments. And I feel like the world has changed so much since 2016, so much. And I think I would say like, have fun, travel, enjoy life, and just be appreciative of this journey. Like you're going to go on a really healing journey. You're going to go on a deep one. And I feel like, especially when I first spiritually awakened, inner work came up, definitely. I was having a dark night of the soul, spiritual awakening. That is no walk in the park, as we all know. So I feel like it was heavy in places as I was healing my depression at the time. I was obviously ending a not very nice relationship, like completely at rock bottom. It was hard. I'm not saying it wasn't, but I feel like the awakenings and dark night of the souls and healing that I've done since has been deeper, but on different levels, if that makes sense. So it's been an interesting 6 years. It's been a very interesting 6 years of many highs, lows as well, healing, lessons, blessings, and everything in between. So I think the first lesson I would say to my 2016 self, but also as a lesson that I've learned, is to really embrace life and have fun. I feel like fun is something that we all forget so often, me especially. And I feel like having fun and embracing the present moment, having fun, traveling, doing the things you really want to do, like do those things now, don't wait. So I feel like that's definitely a lesson that I've learned in terms of like present tense, of really being present, really enjoying that moment and doing the things that really set your soul on fire. My second lesson is that healing is not linear. And I think 16-year-old self believed that you had just one spiritual awakening. And obviously, if any of you listen to the podcast, my first question I ask every guest is, when did you spiritually awaken? What's your story? And I feel like from doing 4 years of that podcast and interviewing, like 110 guests now, I think it is, I've had all sorts of answers, but every single answer has been the same. I've had multiple awakenings, Emma, and I'm still awakening, and I'll continue to awaken. And I think that's definitely what I've seen play out in my own life as well. Like over the last 6 years, I have gone through phases of deep inner healing, deep inner work, trauma coming up to the surface to be healed from my childhood, from my like teenage years, so much stuff that I never knew was there. But it makes sense because when I was at that 2016 point in my life where I was feeling suicidal. I had depression for 4 or 5 years at that point. Nothing was shifting it. It makes sense to me now why I felt like that. And I think going throughout my teenage years, I never understood why I had that heaviness. I never understood why I felt suicidal. I never understood why I felt misunderstood. None of this. And of course, my spiritual awakening helped me find self-love and self-worth and heal a lot of these things. But also as well, like definitely in the last 4 years, I've really, really gone deep with that inner work and been able to heal so many things. And really, it just feels like I'm living a total different life to that 16-year-old self. And so much has happened for all of us in that time, since that time. And yeah, I just think it's definitely a journey of evolving, of growing, of flourishing, of blossoming into new versions of ourselves. And I always say, like, I feel like every year I've met a new version of myself, and I definitely think that's true. And each year has different reasons why I've met a different version of myself. And, you know, hopefully I'm not going to have as deeper healing every single year moving forwards. I feel like there's been a lot to unpack, and it's come up in certain stages and different relationships as I've gone through those 6 years. And it's been deeply transformative. And of course, I've manifested so many amazing things into my life over those 6 years and still now. So again, it's like all been worth it. You know, it's all been worth it. It's all been for the highest good. And I think I wouldn't change anything. I mean, it's been difficult in stages. It's been enlightening in stages. It's been the happiest time of my life. Absolutely. So I think those polarities are always going to be there for us. And, you know, I wouldn't be authentic and I wouldn't be real with you if I said like, yeah, the last 6 years of my life have been great. I've had book deals, manifesting relationships, houses, money, career success. Yeah, life's great, living my best life. And yes, I absolutely am. But that has only come from facing my shadow. And that has only come from my willingness and my commitment to myself, to my healing, to feeling happy, to healing the things within me that were stopping me from living a happy, joyful life before. So of course, I feel like as you go through your early 20s, your teen years, you know, you are discovering yourself, you are learning, you are, you know, having those karmic lessons and discovering things about yourself and learning things. And I feel like, again, this could just be because as you reach your Saturn return at like 27, you start to then heal, you start to change your perspective, you start to mature a little bit, and you start to go along that journey of discovering yourself, going into that sort of adult version of yourself. So I feel like obviously that's helped as well. And I feel like that's been a natural process. But definitely there have been multiple spiritual awakenings. I feel like I've gone on a tangent, bringing it back in. I definitely feel like I've had multiple awakenings, multiple dark nights of the soul. And I'm sure in so many different, you know, reasons or aspects of my life in the future, we probably will continue to have mini awakenings, maybe some more deeper ones. And, you know, it's all relative, it's all needed. And each awakening or each level as such brings new joy, brings new abundance. And I feel like, especially the last couple of years, as I've gone really deep with the inner work, it's been harder, it's been tougher, it's taken more willpower and obviously more commitment and acceptance as well. But the bigger the healing, the bigger the reward as well. So I feel like everything's like stepped up that level. And I don't want to say that to like scaremonger, because again, we all have different journeys, we all have different karma, we all have different life lessons, different traumas, different limiting beliefs and fears. This is just my experience. And as a life path 33, it's quite common. But again, everybody will be different. Some people will have some lighter inner work to do and that's it. Some people may have a deeper journey with trauma like myself. And again, healing is not linear and our journeys are not all the same, not one shoe fits all. So again, like celebrate if nothing is coming up for you right now, because that's a real big positive. If something is coming up for you right now, then process it, allow it, honor it, and work with it in a way that feels right to you, to move through that and feel like you're coming back to yourself again. So definitely healing is not linear. And we definitely have more awakenings than just the one original. I feel like my third point has to be letting go and surrendering 100%. It would not be me if it was not that. And I feel like this has been the biggest lesson of my life is non-attachment, letting go, surrendering, and healing too, but really the emphasis on letting go and surrendering. And I feel like 6 years ago, that version of Emma absolutely would not well, she definitely wasn't letting go and surrendering, especially not with her manifestations. And I feel like over those 6 years, I've really connected to my feminine energy more. I've really been able to pull out of that wounded masculine energy more and come back into balance with both my masculine and feminine energies, and be able to actually allow flow and actually to be okay with uncertainty, or be okay with letting go and non-attachment, and seeing the higher purpose, and knowing that rejection is divine redirection, and that sometimes not getting the things we want is actually a blessing. So I feel like from 6 years of hardcore proof of that, I feel like I'm at a stage where I am so much more relaxed, and I am so much more calmer now when navigating moments of fear, or being disappointed with things, or frustrated that things aren't happening how I wanted them to. I feel like I naturally sit in that feminine energy more of relaxation, where I'm like, okay, I can't control this, so I'm just gonna relax. I'm gonna focus on what is bringing me joy, and I'm also just gonna trust the process. So I feel like that has been a massive lesson for me, which has taken time, has taken multiple attempts, and of course will still be a work in progress. I'm not claiming that that is perfected. I'm sure, as all of us, we feel things in life, we feel emotions, and of course if we really want something, we are going to be attached to it. So I think it's always letting go and surrendering. I always feel, especially in my 5 steps, is always a process. It's not a destination. It's not like, right, now I've reached that destination of letting go, perfected, tick it off, it's done. No, it's more of that feminine energy, where it's a journey of, you can't control that. You can't control how long it's going to take. You can't control any of it. So the letting go and surrendering stage is really interesting, because people think or want a process, and actually it's unlearning the process, which actually is the real healing and the real letting go and surrendering. So it's very counterintuitive, but also it makes total sense with that feminine energy, and can really transform so much in your life. I think definitely my 4th tip, or 4th lesson, I would say, is actually about polarities. And I want to put this in because I feel like this is a really important thing or point to make. And I feel like I don't really like the word toxic positivity, but I feel like that there is, especially when you first come across The Secret, you first come across Law of Attraction, I feel like there's so much emphasis on you must think positive thoughts. You must you can't think negative thoughts or everything's going to manifest. And this is really something that I get asked time and time again by people of, will my negative thoughts manifest? And I feel like the polarity aspect of spirituality is so important to learn, because you realize that we need the darkness. We need those negative thoughts. We need the days where we don't feel our best to appreciate the days where we do feel our best. We need the yin and the yang, the masculine, the feminine, the summer, the winter, the darkness, the light, the full moon, the new moon. Everything in life has the polarity energy of the 2 polarities. And I think so often we can shame our shadow side. We can shame those negative thoughts that come up, or we can be fearful and think, oh my God, that's going to manifest. I'm such a terrible person for thinking this. Oh my God, you can shame yourself so freaking easily with limiting beliefs and fears and blocks and trauma. And I think it's so important to really honor our polarity, and know that actually sometimes honoring, or all the time honoring your emotions fully, but also honoring when you need rest, when you need time to just be still and be present and just feel your emotions. They move through you so much quicker, and you're able to come back to that natural happy state quicker. But also as well, by honoring that, you're able to then fully come back quicker to the happy, positive, aligned state. But then also you're able to stay in that more consistently, because you're honoring your feelings, but also you appreciate that space so much more, rather than only ever having happy, positive days, if we only ever had happy, positive days, we would never know what a bad day felt like. We would never know what feeling negative feels like. So we would never feel appreciative or be able to witness when we're in that state. So we need polarity. Polarity is echoed all throughout the universe. And that polarity is so needed. And I think it's a really important lesson or practice to work with and acknowledge, because it can be so healing in itself. And it can also really help you to understand the true essence of spirituality, the true essence of energy, and understand that yes, words do have power, but energy trumps all. And I think that's what I want to add for my fifth step. Energy is everything. And I think there's, again, a lot of emphasis on words with manifestation, and absolutely, we speak our realities, we write, words, we can write words as well, and that creates our reality. Words do absolutely play a big part in manifestation, but if you are having a negative thought or a limiting belief or a down day or whatever, that is not going to just manifest like that. If we lived in a world of instantaneous manifestation, it would be chaotic. It would be so chaotic. And think about the thousands of thoughts you have every single day. Does everyone manifest? No, definitely not. So it's our consistent energy and vibration that manifests our reality. So really, energy trumps all. And you could, at the end of the day, this is a great example to give. If someone's, saying like, I'm a millionaire, and then their energy is like, oh, no, you're not. Oh, no. And you're like inside like, oh my God, I'm not. Like, that feels so far-fetched. Your energy is going to reflect that, right? So we could say any word in the world, but our energy introduces us before we do, right? And that's a really famous saying of our energy introduces us before we do, or our words. So again, you can see that energy trumps all. And you can say all the affirmations in the land, you can write all the affirmations in the land, but if your energy is not aligned with that affirmation or that manifestation, it's not going to come into your reality, meaning the energy is blocking that. So really, I always say, like, words are great, visualization is great, but energy trumps all. And when you can focus on your energy, and when you can focus on really clearing any blocks or resistance and feeling in alignment and aligning with the energy of your desire, energy is everything. And I feel like that has been a really key, a key lesson for me the last few years, a key realization and a key shift in my own manifestation practice as well. So my fifth lesson is that spirituality doesn't have to look a certain way. I feel like there's sometimes a perception or a judgment maybe on how spirituality should look, of like, you mustn't drink alcohol, you must be vegan, you must meditate every day for 3 hours. You can't possibly wear designer clothes if you're spiritual. Again, they're just examples plucked from my head, but there are a lot of things I think people, and again, another great one is like, you can't be angry if you're spiritual. Like, you're spiritual, you should be calm all the time. What have you got to be worried about? What have you got to be sad about? And I feel like a lot of those comments come from people who maybe aren't on the spiritual path, or maybe struggling with that a little bit. Definitely, but I'm sure we've all heard those things before. I definitely have. And I think it's really important to witness that spirituality, what is spirituality? Like, what is it meant to look like? Is it meant to look like a Buddhist monk sat on a mountain, like, meditating? What is it meant to look like? And I think it's really important that you honor what spirituality is for you, and you honor what spirituality looks like for you as well. It could be a really devoted practice where you want to give up alcohol, you want to do these things. It could be anything. Or maybe actually honoring yourself and doing spirituality in your own way is actually, it is the best thing for you to do, because everybody's connection to source, to the universe, to God, whatever you would call it, is unique. And everybody's connection will be different. And I think it's really important that we honor where we're at, how we feel, and how we choose to honor the universe, or how we choose to manifest, or how we choose to live our lives, etc. There is no right or wrong. And I feel like we have to honor ourselves. Like, if somebody wants to do something, that's fantastic. Let's support them. Let's cheerlead them. But again, if that doesn't resonate with them, let's support, let's cheerlead them. Because again, we need variety in the world. We need all these different, aspects of spirituality and ways of doing things. And I think as well, like having so many different aspects or like aspects or ideas on the law of attraction is important as well, because my work, for example, is not going to resonate with every single human being on the planet, but somebody else like Abraham Hicks, for example, might really resonate with someone, whereas someone else may not resonate with, you know, someone else who talks about law of attraction, whereas they might find my videos do resonate with them. So a brief example, but that gives you a look at, actually, we need different aspects of everything, because then it doesn't matter who it is, where it is, whatever, we're all delivering the same message. It's all leading back to the same thing of love, of healing, of manifestation, of connection to the universe, of spirituality at its core essence, right? So I feel like I've definitely struggled with that. Like right at the beginning of my journey, I did, because I thought, I don't look like other spiritual teachers. I don't like do the same things as them. And I feel like definitely in the last 3 years, I've like really embraced, you know, like I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do it my way. And that is the right way for me. And that is what is authentic. And that is what people love, is, you know, you being you, right? So I feel like definitely that has been, something that I've learned over the years, and something that I think is really important to share as well. And my 6th lesson is actually more about checklists, like manifestation and checklists. I feel like I definitely, hence why I wrote Positively Wealthy, I got into a like cycle of manic manifesting, as Gabby would call it, and manifesting one thing after the other, focusing on that and nothing else. And I feel like what really helped me was actually not to focus on outcomes or like, you know, things of like book deals or money or relationships, but actually to focus on the feeling, and actually what I wanted to feel in this dream reality, like what I wanted to experience in that dream life. So how did I feel? Not what things did I have, but how did I want to feel? And I feel like by embodying truly the feelings of peace, happiness, calm, joy, like truly embodying that through the inner work, and through, you know, like all the self-help tips and tools I, you know, teach, but also, you know, walk my talk as well. I feel like by working on that, the manifestations, the intentions that I didn't put too much focus on, but knew I wanted, happened instantly, happened quickly, happened so much more powerfully, because I was actually focusing on the emotion and the feeling rather than I would like this money or I would like this thing. So I feel like for me, feeling has been everything. Feeling is healing, absolutely, but feeling has been a really big part of my manifestation process the last 2 years, definitely. And I feel like it's something we could all do more, and something I absolutely incorporate in my new book, and incorporate through the channel as well, of the actual feeling, because again, it's all energy, right? The feeling, how we feel, affects our aura, it affects our energy, it affects our mind, our well-being, it affects everything. So when we have that like equilibrium as such of that good vibes, that feeling of happiness, just, you know, manifestations, abundance that is going to ignite more happiness is just naturally manifested to you. So you naturally will feel more abundance. You'll see more abundance because you're in that energy of receiving. You're in that stream or flow of abundance, right? So I feel like the energy part is a big part of this message, but definitely the feeling part is also really important. So I want to challenge you and say, well, actually, you have all these amazing goals and visions, which is fantastic, and they're all going to happen. But let's also think about how you want to feel, and actually work on feeling how you will feel in your dream, you know, dream life, dream reality, and then work on fully embodying that here and now, because the rest will be an after effect. But you have to do that work and align with that energy first and foremost. So I feel like that has also been a really powerful key lesson for me, and has really helped me stop manic manifesting as well, and actually focus on feeling good, focus on feeling fulfilled. And when I, you know, feel in that way and I feel in that space, the manifestations are an after effect. It's just like, of course that's going to happen because I'm in that space. And I then don't feel like I need to constantly be working on something or constantly be manifesting something or constantly doing anything, because I'm already naturally in that state. So there you have it. Those are my 6 lessons over the last 6 years since I spiritually awakened. And again, I'm sure, as I said, over the next 6 years and more, I'm sure I will experience even more, awakenings. I don't want to intend it, but like awakenings of gentler awakenings and awakenings of self and awakenings as I go into a new phase of my life. And I feel like we have mini awakenings most years, right? I feel like we do, whether it's, like I said, on a smaller scale or a big pivotal scale. What we need will always happen, and what lessons we're here to learn will always happen. The blessings will always happen, the lessons will happen, and it's about navigating those with the right tools and like with amazing energy around you as well. So thank you so much, guys, for being here on this journey with me the last 6 years. It's been such a joy sharing this with you here on my YouTube channel and of course all my channels and podcasts as well. And again, if you are at the beginning of your spiritual journey, or maybe you're a couple years in, for example, maybe you've been on it way longer than I have, I hope this video has helped you and given you some good tips, tools, and lessons that you can take forwards with you. So thank you so much, guys, for watching my video. I appreciate all your views and likes. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, because I would love to see you again soon. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comments box down below with your thoughts on my 6 lessons and how long you've been on this journey for as well. I'd love to hear it, and I'm sure everybody else watching would love to hear your beautiful story as well. And don't forget, you can also join my free Law of Attraction support group over on Facebook, where you can join myself and other like-minded souls where we talk all things Law of Attraction and spirituality. I hope you all have a fantastic week, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you all in my next video, which will be on Friday. Lots of love.